Heyo, I'm Rozaly, a researcher and artist from the Caribbean island of Curaçao, driven by a passion for unearthing and sharing lesser supported stories of Caribbean music with the world. This time we elaborate on a movement that's transforming the sound of the islands. A new wave of producers redefining their culture. The pulse of Dennery Segment and Mourillon. It's a force echoing through the streets of St Lucia and Dominica, fueling a new generation's carnival tradition. I have followed this movement for the past 5 years, researching, archiving and immersing myself in its spirit. That journey has now taken shape in Road Fever, a compilation album capturing the essence of Dennery Segment and Mourillon. I also traveled to St Lucia and sat with the artists of Dennery Segment to hear their stories firsthand.
When I started doing those productions, some of the DJs would call me and ask me for the new release, the new stuff we produce, One of the DJs told me, "Boy, I lying to tell you, I have a folder there called that Dennery Segment." Because obviously, where we're at right now, it's Dennery. So they refer to our music as that segment, so it's the Dennery Segment. I think to jump up,
When the new segment started getting its recognition back in 2014, 2015, thereabout. One of the main problems we were facing is that the radio personnel and the government and stuff, they were at us for making it clean, or I'm trying not to make it too raw or too vulgar. The fact that we listen to that and we kind of start, trying to tweak it to try to make it work, I feel like that drew, or that took off some of the strength from the genre.
Split in the middle, make the two toys jiggle, pipe on the table, my girl, I know you able, split in the middle, make the two toys jiggle, pipe on the table, my girl, I know you able, control bombarded.
A lot of people believe that it needed to remain as underground St. Lucia music. But what happened is it transitioned to being popular music in St. Lucia. So right now, Dennery Segment is on every radio station.
But then when we saw how huge it became, I believe a lot of the artists saw it to be something that can propel our music to the regional islands and, also internationally.
We grew up really in the steel pan, being a instrument, we playing an instrument first, and then whilst we seeing the older ones, being engaged in.
Growing up, I had my granddad and some of our community mentors, leaders around here. They were into our traditional music, which is the drums.
Dennery Segment is a vibe, especially like with the drum patterns and stuff.
If you listen to a lot of our beats, you would hear lots of different drums in there.
I first fell in love with the drums. Yeah, I wanted to be a drummer.
I literally do not know how to play a piano. But if you put me in front of a PC, I'm sure I can do something. I will be able to do something just because of the experience and the love for the music. That's what it is.
It's a basic pattern. So you have your rim, playing that specific pattern, your kicks, and yeah, that's basically it, because you don't really need melodies in the segment. From the time you have the good drums, it's there.
Not even too much of the hi-hats, but your snare have to look good, And that kick have to punch. You gotta feel that kick right there.
Messi me chebo ufini, like chebo kozel malfini. From bagay la go papiti, just ma de ana epniki. Me vlo bwene ko usho pase, di teka ko epini.
Okay, it's like sometimes I go to the beach and like I hear like sounds in my head and then I'll like record it like with my phone and then come in and just build from that. When I started making like soca music, Dennery Segment, like to just fuse the genres. So that's when I came up with soca trap. So, for example, Designer, Panda.
A lot of trap beats has been that same range as thing, especially even in terms of drill. Drill has the same pattern in terms of the snare patterns. It's the same exact snare pattern for drill. It's the tack, 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 tack. Tack, 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 tack.
It's probably a sub-genre of soca, but those young men, they were not getting access to the big studios. So it's basically your computer, your mic, you have a beat, you sing on it, right? So they were just releasing music every week. And that's what got Dennery Segment very popular, the frequency of the music.
For now, I do some hotel work, but I also juggle with my studio and my music. Yeah, so when I'm not at work, I'm working here. The most famous one is Bang for the Bang, and it was remixed with Moto. Yeah, and from there, Seagal Productions. Born here.
Look, I drinking 4 cup. Look, I drinking 3 cup. Look, my head done now. 1 cup, I done boom. 2 cup, I done boom. 3 cup, I done boom. I'm telling you, 4 cup, I done boom. 1 cup, I done boom. 2 cup, I done boom. 3 cup, I done boom. I'm telling you, 4 cup, I done boom.
Who inspired you as rhythm producers?
I would say Dr. Dre, Scott Storch. I also love Metro Boomin. But probably Dennery Segment wise is between Ransum and G6. Very simple, but yet so, how would I say it, so good. And I think the gross beat here gives it so much hype, I guess, with the different, the chops and stuff.
That thing came about through colonization, through the English and the French.
That's why the piece good. When you stick in this stone, it's good. It's good.
So I guess the people decided to create their own language so that they could communicate, secretly,
Touché tattoo, wow, oui mais wow. Touché boudon, wow, oui mais wow. Just me tell your PLS side, sir. Et puis l'autre là, alert là, moi do jump around to neko tete helicopter.
Oh yeah, sometimes they would send me the rhythm, like a certain bird, they might send me the rhythm and tell me, bro, I have a rhythm that I could hear you on that, I want you to hop on that, and if I like it, I would say like, all right, bro, say no more, I come to record next week, or all right, working on something, and yeah. I have a song, Sit on My Face, that's like, yeah man, that's a biggie.
Sit on my face and kill me, if I die, I die. Sit on my face and kill me, if I die, I die. Look,
it's legal. Well, it's Zido, they're legal. Right. Yeah, sure.
If you listen to Dennery Segment music, there's a lot of instructions in there. Bend down, split, mate.
Unspelling is for that shot, girl. Bend down for that shot. To the right for that shot. To the left for that shot. Down to the ground for that shot. Girl, flat on the belly for that shot.
Bass, the rhythm, like it actually moves you, Yeah, so I think like once you're connected to that, like you just go wild, you do anything.
Yo, let me tell you, when you get to see Dennery Segment in its glory, it's marvelous because it's controlling. It is controlling.
Majority of the beats that I made, I could have never write a song to put on it. So yeah, just imagine I could have never write a song that would go on it.
It's just like the rhythms are just so powerful that it's
yeah, I mean, yeah, don't get me wrong, it don't need vocals. It don't need vocals.
So long we waiting, anticipating, so long we dreaming, we waiting for the carnival to come. You pay for your costume, long. Easy, hold on, so we tell them, I myself, I pressure was I chipping on the road. Pretty girl bend over, let me wind up on you know. This carnival season, we come for a reason. Bring joy to the people, our people. So we tell them who's serving me. A shorter than a sea. My rum backpack, so I'm not begging no, but
new stuff we have there for them, you know.
New stuff. Look out for the carnival.
Calling me fast, man, didn't even run back on my two drinking man, singing when I link with the gum. Like for the past 2 weeks, I've been pushing like 24, coming home 5 in the morning, 4 in the morning, being at studio. Yeah, because you know, carnival is around the corner.
When we're like approaching Carnival, you get a lot of like artists releasing new music. So there are those who release earlier and there are those who release late. You good pull up, eh?
Wait, I feel like I'm interrupting something special.
I like to release like when I'm like probably halfway. Closer to Carnival.
Kick, the bells you are in it, that's real carnival vibes.
But with carnival, I mean, yeah, I would go and watch. I would not jump it though.
To listen how much?
Yeah, just to listen.
I wouldn't blame people who would say that or would leave it in this bracket that is just still pan music and whatnot. The reason why I would not blame them is because that is how they have been marketing, you know, soca music. It's only for a season. And my thing is, why create music only for a specific season? Like, to me, that doesn't make sense.
But what started to happen is people travel. Yeah, people like into the Caribbean, right? People travel, people go to places, so the music doesn't stay one place. It goes from island to island, right? And that's residual, like from respective carnivals. So you would find that Trinity Carnival will leak into St Lucia Carnival. Then St Lucia Carnival music will leak into Barbados or back to Trinidad and Tobago. And then now there's a better understanding as to, hey, let's not just be seasonal with music. Let's create music throughout the year.
No man, shake your cherry tree. No man, shake your mobile tree.
What mesmerizes me is this collision in Dennery Segment. A new generation blending tradition with contemporary pop, where Creole drums meet drill patterns, amplified by the internet's reach. Intentional or not, it's shaping a new musical direction. One that feels raw, unfiltered, and undeniably organic.
Make up the whole of the Dennery Segment nation and kids. What shall we do?